50 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and a little bit of nip in the air. We've got NCAA Division III baseball presented by the Gorlock Sports Network. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the special presentation of SLIAC Baseball. I'm Sam Baker, sitting alongside my friend and mentor, Scott Jensen. And we've got an action-packed game today. Your Webster University Gorlocks are looking to close out a 3-game homestand versus in-town rival Fontbonne University Golden Griffins.
It's a good day for baseball. A little bit of wind, but boy, the few clouds in the sky, but it's a nice, cool spring day. Nice. What better thing to do than be out here at the ballpark watching Webster baseball? And if you can't be here with us, we're glad you're where you are listening to us.
You know, Scott, I'd say about 5, maybe 6 degrees warmer, and we'd have ourselves a pitch-perfect day on the diamond here in Sauget, Illinois. We still got an action-packed game today. The Gorlocks looking to pick up their 3rd straight win this weekend against Fontbonne. They closed out a doubleheader win yesterday versus the Golden Griffins. A couple of solo shots from Evan Evola and Charlie Burton to give the Gorlocks a late lead in the 8th inning, 6-4. Thanks to help from Benjamin Kowalski on the mound to get the save, Webster is able to close out Game 2, 6-5. And so leading off today for the Gorlocks, number 55, Adam Hill.
So Fontbonne shortstop's going to get us started today. Eric Creech.
And first pitch of the game is going to be in the dirt for ball 1.
Looks like they're playing him straight away to get things started.
Adam Hill, the 6'5 junior, is the transfer from Jefferson College. Coming out of Ontario, Canada, as this one is fouled back to the backstop. 1-2 the count now. Creech takes that one outside for ball 2.
It's a good stop by Burton.
Here comes the 2-2. Another one outside, full count, 3-2. Early start here for Adam Hill. He finds himself behind. Swing and a bouncer. Split the defense. Not able to get to it. In left field, Sonato able to pick the grab. Creech is going to hold off at first. And that is the first hit of the game for Fontbonne.
That's a fair hit when Staker can't get to that ball. Just right in between Staker and Swords. Perfect spot.
Fair effort, too, by Staker. What a way to get behind the defense at third. Safety net just wasn't enough. Runners on first here for Fontbonne in the first inning. Went ahead and called that one a strike. Elbow came down a bit too far. So now at the plate for Fontbonne, number 19, Ty Cooper. So far, Ty Cooper is 379 on the year with Ty Cooper. He's 379 on the year with guys. The deal from Hill. Fouled back. So 1-2, runners on first. No outs. Hard cut, and that'll be the first strikeout for Mr. Adam Hill on the afternoon. What a way to get back for Mr. Hill, down with a hit for the first batter, able to come back with a strikeout, and the Gorlocks got their first out of the inning. Checks the runner. And they're going to hold it first.
Throw. Webster pitchers do a good job of keeping runners close.
And a really good chemistry there as the runner goes. Throw down is not on time. Creech is going to be safe at second. Successful stolen base added to his name. What a great reaction time there from Creech. He took off at the right moment.
It's a good throw down, a little bit low, but it was right where it needed to be. So he just beat the throw.
Eric Creech, the junior, so far has 13 stolen bases on the year. As Fontbonne now has a runner in scoring position here early in the first. As that one gets out of the hands of Hill for ball one.
Would be nice to close this series out with another win. They're 8 for 10.
Another one down low and outside, ball two.
Webster's 8 for 10 in their last 10 games, so they're on a bit of a hot streak, trying to continue to inch their way to the first place spot in the conference.
And it was a bit of a slower start this year for the Gorlocks. Coach Kirich even making mention that this is his first time in his stint here at Webster that he has had 12 losses this early in the season so far. Not a great start for the Gorlocks, but hopefully, looking at their win streak so far and their history against interconference opponents, they're going to have a better half of the season. As this ball finds itself in the center field line, Creech is going to make his way home.
He's going to stand up.
And we've got a stand-up single there for Mr. Eric Creech, pardon me. Helm, the designated hitter, nice grounder there, split the defense perfectly as the Golden Griffins are on the board early here, 1-0 in the top of the first.
Yeah, there's a ton of talent on that field for the Gorlocks. They've got incredible experience, and I think everybody was a little surprised about the slow start, but I think people are still very confident. They're peaking at the right time.
And time is called. Coach Bill Kirich making his way to the mound. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here early in the first, as Adam Hill will go ahead, hand off the ball, and take a walk back to the dugout.
Hope everything's okay with Hill. It's an early change, so it makes you wonder.
Well, you know, Scott, we kind of saw the same thing in yesterday's game. I believe it was Schulstad who was put in the 7th or 8th inning. I don't remember who that was, but then it must have been one batter after Coach Kirich came back on the mound, had one visit, and then the next batter later went ahead and brought in Ben Kowalski, the graduate student, and he went ahead and got the save. So you never know when Coach Kirich is going to go ahead and pull the plug and bring in someone from the bullpen. We already have relievers coming in early here in the first, so you know that he's not afraid to shake things up and try something new if it's not working.
No, the nice thing is he has a deep pen, and that's certainly a nice tool for a coach to have, especially when you're playing 3 games in a weekend. It becomes particularly important then. And this game's early. When you look at the Gorlock bats, they're really never out of the game when it's our turn to hit. It's the glorious thing about baseball. There's no time limit. It's just unpredictable.
Well, you can argue now with the pitch clock that you do have a bit of a time stance on it, but hey, to each his own. I've heard multiple opinions about the pitch clock, so we're going to keep it at that.
Yeah, I've got some strong opinions, but we probably ought not go down that road. I'm liable to say some bad words.
So Devin Schulstad pitching in relief today for the Gorlocks, the 6'6" senior. Transfer from Harris Stowe State University. Had some bad luck with injuries, but was still able to make 8 total appearances in 2020 with 2 starts. Finished with a 1-3 record, only allowing 6 earned runs. He was also a member of their academic all-conference team. Talk about student athlete, putting the student first. That is hit on a one-hop to short. Double play could be. Yes, that is on time.
That's the way you do it.
The 6-4-3 to complete the inning. Webster escaping a one-run early start from Fontbonne, and they are going to head into the bottom of the first 1-0. What a great fundamental baseball play right there that we saw from Webster, getting the job done quick and easy. No showboat necessary. You like to see it. On the mound to start things off for the Golden Griffins, Mr. Ben Bissig, getting his 10th start of the year for the Golden Griffins. So far struck out 35, only allowing 7 earned runs on the season. And this comes at a time where the Webster bats are finally starting to find their rhythm and are heating up like they want them to. And so we'll see what the bats are going to do today for the Gorlocks. Leading off, number 12, Evan Evola.
He's been a reliable bat for Webster all season.
Evola coming off that solo shot in the first inning from yesterday's game. As he's going to start the count 2-0. The deal from Bissig. Inside, ball 3. Great patience from Evola, waiting on this pitcher, seeing what kind of stuff that he's got before he's going to make the decision. Nice job playing it safe. Evola will go ahead and make the walk to first, as Webster has a man on here early in the bottom half of the first inning.
Well, that's where you get it started. You can't score until you get somebody on base, so we'll see what Webster does with this.
At the plate for Webster, number 4, R.J. LaRocco, the junior, getting his first appearance. Ball gets out of the hands of the catcher. Quick escape, no one goes. Nice stop there from Cooper behind the plate. Worth noting that Trey Cooper and Ty Cooper, both brothers playing in the infield today for the Golden Griffins. Nice team chemistry going on there. That's got to help out a lot, especially when you miss a strikeout and got to throw out to your brother.
Yeah. Both local talents out of Waterloo, Illinois, Waterloo High School.
The 2-0 from Bissig. Inside, another 3-0 count.
She's having a little bit of trouble finding the strike zone early.
With a hitter like LaRocco, you always got to be careful because you never know what he's going to do behind the plate. He's got enough power to slug one into the warning track, but he's got enough speed to where he can give you a dribbler and still give it a battle on time to first. And they're going to go ahead and let that one fall outside of the zone. 2 straight walks for Mr. Bissig, as Webster now has runners both on second and first.
I'll tell you, Parker's capable of doing some damage here.
And as you just mentioned, the man you don't want in the box now up to the plate with 2 runners on base, Mr. Parker Wielt. As that one will be low in the dirt for ball 1.
The Griffins do have some activity in the bullpen, so obviously a little bit of concern.
Both teams getting their bullpens started early today. In a tight series like this one has been, you never know which manager is going to pull the trigger on a new pitching staff, so it's going to be interesting to see as we've got a mound visit here early.
Well, we're late in the season, and the top of the conference standings are tight, so both of these teams are in that fight, and they know that. So I'm sure Fontbonne does not want to sweep, and Webster wants the exact opposite. This is going to be a critical game, I think, as we go down the stretch.
Another one outside. So Webster currently sitting in second in the SLIAC conference. Not their usual spot. You usually see them at the top of the polls, especially this late in the season when all the conference matchups have been run through. As that one will be taken for another ball, and Webster will have the bases loaded here early in the bottom of the first. This is not what you want if you are Fontbonne.
I was wondering when we might have a visit from the dugout. Bissig has only thrown a couple strikes so far, and the bases are already loaded. So this is not the way Fontbonne wanted to start things out, particularly after going up early in that first inning. But it looks like he's going to stay in.
So Ben Bissig will continue his stint on the mound for the Fontbonne Golden Griffins. And Malik Werges now at the plate for the Gorlocks, the center fielder. Coming off of 1 run, scored on 2 hits, and brought in a couple of runners off of yesterday's matchup, as that one would be called for a strike. So bases loaded, nobody out, no balls, 1 strike. Hard cut, as that one is tipped back for a foul.
He's hitting .318 on the season, so he's certainly a good person for Webster to have in the box right now. He will know how to put that ball into play somewhere.
Nice discipline there, taking the ball outside. One and two, now the count for Werges. High fastball for another ball outside. 2 and 2 is the count.
With the bases loaded, base hit does some damage here. See what happens on the 2-2 count.
Rocco with a nice lead off at second. And they're going to call that one a strike. Werges looking absolutely befuddled at that call. Might have caught the slider just outside the zone for a called strike 3. And that'll be Mr. Ben Bissig's first strikeout of the afternoon. Maybe the mound visit helped, who knows? So 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the first. And the pitch from Bissig. So at the plate now for the Gorlocks, Nate Martinez. And the designated hitter position this afternoon.
Ooh.
High fastball inside. As we've got another 3-0 count. Oh, he is knocked on the shoulder from that one. And that'll be a 1-run score.
Seems to be okay.
For Webster. Taking one for the team, Malik Werges will jog 90 feet. And Webster still got the bases loaded.
And now Fontbonne is going to make that move to the bullpen.
And this is when you got to ask yourself, how many more times do you want to see your pitcher go through that? And sometimes the change is necessary. So that'll do it this afternoon for Mr. Ben Bissig.
So Webster has not gotten a hit yet, but they still have bases loaded, and they've got a run on the board. So I guess we'll take it however we can get it.
Sometimes they come from the home run, sometimes they call from the hit by pitches.
They all still count the same in the end.
Yes, sirree. The beauty of baseball. Webster has not lost to Fontbonne since 2021. And after today's start, they are hoping that they will not have to have an L in the stat column after that.
So Howard's a junior out of Lutheran South, throwing now for the Griffins. Griffins have a lot of their roster is from the St. Louis area.
It's a bit of a different comparison when you look at both of these teams side by side in their recruiting. You got Webster going all over, even international players from Canada. We have representations from California, Florida, Texas, all over the United States, you name it. And even local talent too, St. Louis, Illinois. Coach Kirich has got it.
Tell you, it's nice when you've got the record of success that the Gorlocks do. People want to come here and play ball.
Here comes the first pitch for Howard. Outside, take it for ball one.
Earlier this year, Sword set the Division III record for all-time games played leader. So a feather in his cap as he goes out in his last season. He's been a solid fixture at third base for us for a very long time.
Inside, strike one. And we've got a couple of those guys on this Webster squad that have been around for a while and are seasoned veterans now. I take a look at back when it was my freshman year here at Webster, looking at guys such as Swords, Kowalski, Staker, all guys that were becoming veterans at that time are still sticking around here, and you look at them and say, man, when are you going to leave?
Right, right. I'm sure there's some folks in the Slack saying maybe the same thing. Are you kidding me?
And unfortunately, it's going to be that way for at least another year or two before we see all of the COVID athletes go through their extended eligibility given out by the NCAA, myself included, for track and field. as this one is popped up foul.
I think that's going to get out of play. Well, Webster has kind of an advantage. I mean, we have a strong graduate program at a lot of different degrees, so that makes it really accessible for students to stay here, pick up a couple more years, leave here with a graduate degree and a couple more playing years under their belt. Not that you wanted a pandemic by any means whatsoever, but it's nice that the NCAA made some rules that soften the blow a little bit for our athletes.
Full count for Swords. Base is still loaded, as we are tied at 1 in the bottom of the first. Howard. That one is hit on a drive deep to split center field.
He's going to get to it. Yeah.
And in on time, runner goes from third.
Nope.
Cutoff is missed, and sliding in safely is R.J. LaRocco. Nice RBI there from Mr. Ben Swords to bring in his teammate R.J. LaRocco. Webster now up 2-1 here early in the bottom of the first.
It helped to LaRocco. Just noting LaRocco had kind of a short lead, but that ended up working to his advantage. He was ready to be on the bag and head out right when he needed to.
Runner's going to hold. No one goes.
Ball's popping out of the Fontbonne catcher's mitt quite a bit. Cooper's having a little hard time holding on to it when it comes in, but he keeps the ball in front of him, which is what he needs to do.
So at the plate for Webster, number 20, Charlie Burton. Another transfer on Webster's roster. Burton rips this one deep into left field. That one's going back to the wall and gone! Charlie Burton, the 2-run homer, will put Webster up 5-1 here early in the bottom of the first.
And Sam, I was just getting ready to say his bat has been hot the last week or so, and he did not make me a liar.
So that's 2 home runs back-to-back for number 20, Charlie Burton. Put on the big hat and celebrate, big dog. You got it. So an early lead here for Webster, as that one will find itself inside the strike zone.
Well, as we were saying, with their bats, Webster's never out of a ball game.
A rip from Mitch Daniels sent right to the shortstop and caught on the bag in time.
Nice play on both ends.
Great execution there to get the final out of the inning. But what a rip there from Charlie Burton, the 3-run homer. 2-run blast, pardon me, will give Webster a 4-run lead here early in this one. At the plate for the Golden Griffins to lead things off in the top of the second is Mr. Colby Shivers. He's played in all 33 games so far this season, hitting .337 on the year, a couple of homers, lots of RBIs, and a couple of runs to add on to that. So hopefully, Mr. Shivers can get things going here for the Golden Griffins. That one is outside for ball 2. Shivers now waiting patiently. Finds himself ahead 3-1. That one is called strike. And he was not expecting that one. Already was on the jog to first. So full count now for Shivers, as that one is fouled high.
Yeah, it's well out of play.
And another handy souvenir.
Shosted's a fast worker. This is only his second batter faced, and
that one is hit high over the bullpen. And
got the Gorloks out of a jam out of the first inning, so we'll see what he does here. He's fell behind, but he's quickly brought the count back to full, so we'll see what happens.
And Shosted's got some power behind that fastball. He's not going to let hitters just ease by with the ease of change. As that one is going to find itself in the dirt for ball 4. And Fontbonne has a man on early. Strike 1 for Shostad.
It's another good hitter for the Griffins. He's hitting well into his 300s, 385.
Cameron Brock's the outfielder. Will hit this one straight to third base. Daniels able to make the play at second. And a nice hurdle play there from Mitch Daniels. And he almost got bulldozed there by the runner. Great heads-up play there from Ben Swords at third to make the force out.
Yeah, if he doesn't catch that ball, we've got runners on first and third. So much better situation just having a Fontbonne runner on first.
Low and inside, ball 1. So 1 out, runners on second. 1 ball, no strikes. And that one is also fouled into the Gorlock bullpen. And Scott, something I can't imagine, why don't we have a screen or something over there by our bullpen? I know these guys are active and watching, but my gosh, if that ball gets ripped into a nose, that's going to be a fracture and a hospital bill that I don't have the wallet for at the moment. That one is hit high and wide out to center field. Who's got it? Nice play there from Malik Wurges, able to get underneath the ball and complete the out for number 2.
So he used his wheels on that one because he had to really move to get to that ball.
Great communication there from Evan Evola and Malik Wurges, giving the mitt tap right there.
So that's a couple good plays that's keeping Fontbonne in check in this inning.
And Scott, this is one of those games where I wish we had a stat track to keep an eye on.
Oh my gosh.
And what a play there, able to tag in time. Nice heads-up play from Evan Scholstad covering the bag.
And I'll tell you, that's a deceptively hard play to make when you're coming over from the mound.
And what a hop from Parker Wilt. Able to make the play defensively and keep this game in control. Webster still up 5-1 as we head into the bottom half of the second inning here at GCS Credit Union Ballpark in Sauget, Illinois. So now at bat for the Gorlocks to start things off here in the bottom of the second, Matt Staker. Taking in the dirt for ball one.
Matt's out of San Diego. He's another one of those 6-year ball players for the Gorlocks. He will be missed this year, after this year.
That one is hit high and foul.
And he is coming off a 5-for-7 day yesterday, so he is having a good weekend. He's in the zone. See if that continues today.
That one is hit straight to the hands of the third baseman. And there to make the play at first is Cooper for the first out of the inning. Great stop from Carter Lee over at third base. Senior infielder getting the job done for Fontbonne, keeping things inside and controlled for the defense. As here we are, top of the order again for the Gorlocks. Evola takes that one outside for ball one.
Evola walked his first at bat. And he's already at a hitter's count again at 2-0.
Again, Evan Evola, that first game yesterday against Fontbonne, got 2 runs off 2 hits and 2 RBIs for 4 trips to the plate, as that one is fouled back hard into the screen. And that one is also ripped foul at the right field line. And he's not scared to hack at these balls. He's showing this pitcher that he knows his stuff and he wants to get a hold of it. Howard still looking strong on the mound, as that one is creamed inside hard, and Evan Evola will go ahead and take his base. That is 2 hit batters so far this afternoon for Fontbonne. No damage done. Evola shrugs it off, and the Gorlocks have a man on again early with just 1 out in the bottom of the second. Evola takes off, runner goes, the throw is not in time, escapes, and Evola a little slow to get up from second, unable to take third. But runner goes, Evan Evola now at second, scores runners in scoring position. As Parker Wilt will now, or pardon me, RJ LaRocco still at the plate for the Gorlocks. Wilt on deck. Outside again, ball 2.
Yeah, the Gorlocks are a fun team to watch. They are every baseball team at Webster. They're fast, they are disciplined, good gloves, good at the plate. You never know what's going to happen, but you know that it's going to be fast, an aggressive game. That's fun to watch.
The 2-0 from Howard. Tipped foul back. And Scott, you've been here for a couple of years now. You've been able to see this team sort of progress and get better through the years. What is your favorite thing to watch about the Gorlocks? I know you said the team is fast and they're quick, but are there any specific players that stand out to you in your time here at Webster that you specifically remember?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I love watching Kowalski pitch. As a long reliever, I mean, he's aggressive. I mean, he comes in and he'll throw to you and just dare you to hit him. And he's among the nation's leaders in innings pitched because he's just tireless. Staker has been fun to watch at short, even coming in as a freshman. He's been a standout fielder for them up the middle.
RJ LaRocco waiting on the decision from the umpire, as he has been known to call strikes outside of the zone there. That slider seems to get him.
And I think the one common denominator in every team that I've seen here is, again, they're just aggressive. I mean, they play solid baseball, good coaching, and they're just not afraid to come at you, and they beat you in a number of different ways. You know that you've got solid fielders behind the pitching. You know that anybody can do some damage at the plate.
Wield belts this one, bounced off the first base. As runners are going to get confused there. Evan Evola did not take the sign. And we're going to have a squeeze play here. In between short. Runner is safe at third. Evan Evola takes off for home, and what a way to get out of the suicide squeeze.
Holy cow.
My goodness, Webster University, what are you doing? Scott, I don't know if I've ever seen a play executed as well as they did. Evan Evola and R.J. LaRocco are either going to get high fives or a talking to in the dugout from Coach Bill
Maybe
Courage.
a little of both. Good job, but, you know, I don't do it again.
And runners will go ahead and take off again. Tag is on time. Parker Wielt got excited at first, wanted to take advantage of the chaos. Fontbonne still awake. Nice heads-up play there to get the second out of the inning. As Webster still has a man on third. As that pitch is outside for ball one.
And I don't think anybody knew where that ball was. That was just a bizarre play all around. I was looking down deep in the right field corner.
It all started with the 40-foot bounce from first plate. That ball was belted.
40-foot bounce, I'm telling you what.
And there to make the play, Sonato. And that will do it there for the bottom half of the second inning. And a lot of excitement here early at GCS Credit Union Ballpark. Webster finds themselves up ahead early, 6-1, as we've got more SLIAC Conference baseball coming to you in just a few minutes. Carter Lee here to start things off at the bottom of the order for Fontbonne. As Schulstad will get a call for strike one. As this one is hit high and deep. There to make the play is Evan Evola to get out number one for Webster. And if you just missed it, we had a crazy, bizarre play back in the bottom of the second inning. R.J. LaRocco and Evan Evola. A little miscommunication there between third base and shortstop. Able to get out of the suicide squeeze. Evan Evola able to score. LaRocco was safe at third. And runs were scored amongst the chaos. It was one of those plays where you just found yourself shaking your head.
And the second baseman ran across the diamond over to third to make sure that there wasn't a rundown. And still, both runners safe.
Not a typical play you see every day there from Webster, but again, high IQ from both LaRocco and Evola, able to get out of this situation as well as they did. And that just goes to show Webster's experience in their gameplay and their decision making is crucial, especially when it comes time for playoffs, when you're playing teams from up north that are both as experienced and well managed as you are down here in the Midwest.
It makes a big difference. And to your point, Webster's going to have that gift for a couple of more years. And they really always seem to have a really nice balance of veteran talent and talented new players that gel together.
So Lee will watch ball 4 scheme across the plate.
That mentoring is so important when you've typically only have 4 years to play ball.
Pardon me, that was Eric Creech at the plate for Fontbonne. Now Ty Cooper will get his second at-bat for the Golden Griffins.
Cooper struck out swinging in his first appearance at the plate in the first inning.
Strike 2. One and two now the count for Cooper. Line and a hit. This one is fouled, just outside the line.
Foul.
One more hop and that would have been a runner on third for Fontbonne. Deal from Scholstad. This one is ripped straight into the gap. Runners are going to go. Getting that one is Wurges. Runners will hold at third and second. As Fontbonne now has runners in scoring position here, top of the third inning with just one out.
And some activity in the Gorlock's bullpen.
And with your designated hitter at the plate, you can best believe they're going to be looking to score. As Matt Helm will face Scholstad for the first time this afternoon in the dirt ball 1.
Yeah, neither team is going to want this game to get too far ahead. They are both wanting a win today, like we've said, so they can stay near the top of those SLIAC standings.
And Fontbonne not too far behind Webster. They sit in the 4th spot. So far they're 10-4 in conference play, 22-11 on the year. Webster just one game up, 11-3 in conference play as this one is hit straight to Daniels, unable to get it. And this is going to be a couple of runs here for Fontbonne. Wurges will make the throw at the cutoff and not in time at second, as 2 runs will score for Fontbonne.
Daniels made a great effort there, but that was just under the glove and it was hit hard, so that did not waste any time getting out to the gap.
Matt Helm with a deep shot there. A couple of RBIs tacked on, and Webster now finds itself just up ahead by 3, 6-3 in the bottom of the third inning.
Helm has all 3 RBI for the Griffins today.
Scholstad will keep off. And another time is called here for Webster. Coach Kurich making his way to the mound. It does not appear that he's going to pull anyone from the bullpen just yet.
I'm not sure he's warmed up enough. I can't really tell who's throwing for the Gorlocks down in the pen. Oh. Made liars out of both of us.
And And just like that, Devin Scholstad's time is done. Scholstad finished. Scholstad's finished with 35 pitches, the highest out of anyone today so far for the Webster bullpen, only allowing 2 hits. They gave up 9 earned runs this afternoon so far, so a decent weekend for Mr. Scholstad.
Now it's going to be senior Caleb Zubrozic trying to stop the damage here. Senior out of Bloomington, Illinois.
So now at the plate for Fontbonne, Thomas Persky will watch strike 1 go right by him.
So this is Zubrozic's 8th appearance for the Gorloks this year. He's got a 5.40 ERA.
High fastball, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And 1 out. That one is hit foul and out of play.
Fontbonne has not been afraid to swing the bat. They've got 4 hits today already in the 3rd inning. 3 runs on the board.
That one is hit on a grounder to center field. Wurge is there to make the play. Runners will hold at 1st and 3rd as Persky will get a hit.
Helm had a short lead. I'm a little surprised he didn't go to 3rd, but ended that play with Fontbonne runners at the corner. So
runners at the corner for Brozak. Inside, strike 1. Wind seems to be picking up just a little bit. As these balls are going to head more towards the left side of the diamond. Wind coming in from the west, it looks like. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on 1st and 3rd. And that is a called strike. Runners will hold.
Burt did a nice job of keeping the runners in check there.
I was just about to mention Charlie Burton has some pretty good reaction speed, might I add. He has a really good throwdown time. And this is one of these situations where, man, I wish we had a stat cast pulled up for this game. That would be incredible to add to the analytical side of baseball.
Yeah,
Especially
Persky
for
really wanted to go to second there, but Burton was up in time that he thought better of it.
And both coaches now having a chit-chat with each other. Probably a substitution will be made, a pinch runner possibly. He might have caught himself on that slide back.
You know, he's a little bit, yeah, he's got a little bit of a limp maybe.
So now Jack Wood will come in for Persky to pinch run. And we're going to have our trainer, Caroline Roberts, go and check out Mr. Persky. Not sure what happened on that play. It looked like it was a clean slide back. And maybe...
It was a quick turn, so he could have rolled an ankle or something. It was...
Maybe to the unexpected timing, his balance might not have been set.
Because he looked like he was on his way to second and then thought better of it pretty quickly.
One and two is the count. Popped high inside the infield. And easy catch there for Brozak to get the second out of the inning. Low one outside for ball one. Cameron Brooks now at the plate for Fontbonne. And he'll watch strike one go right by him.
He reached first in the second inning on a fielder's choice, so he is 0 for 1 on the day, but did spend some time on the base path.
That one is ripped foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Brozak looking to close things out here in the bottom of the third, as that one is hit on a ground straight into Daniel's hands. And Wilt able to make the play to complete the inning. So a couple of pitching changes, and Webster still up by 3 innings here as we head into the top of the fourth. 6-3 here at Greater Credit, GCS Credit Union Ballpark. So replacing Persky will be the freshman center fielder Jack Wood, as this one is ripped fair. They're going to call it. They're going to call it foul. Ground rule double. And I couldn't tell if it went under the wall or just bounced outside of the fence, but still fair. So they're going to call that one a ground rule double for Mr. Nate Martinez, bringing up graduate student Ben Swords.
And the Griffins have a little more activity in the bullpen, so again, not trying to let this get too far out of beyond their reach. They're already down by 3. 6-3 is the score. In the bottom of the third.
Another one hit on the ground straight to third. Able to make the play there at first is Cooper. So runners will stay at second for Webster. Ground out for Ben Swords. And Charlie Burton will walk back up to the plate for the Gorlocks. Charlie Burton responsible for that 3-run blast in the first inning to give Webster a substantial lead. And we'll see if he can replicate that here at this second AB. Oh, and outside for ball 1.
So far it's been a game of walks, odd plays, and really good defense.
That was a really good summary. I don't think I could have put that better myself, honestly.
Well,
the plays you see, just not very often.
and it's early, so I think we're going to, now that the wind has picked up, point you made earlier, I think maybe more excitement to come.
Burton takes that one outside for ball 2. So 1 out. Runner on second in scoring position. 2 balls, no strikes for Burton. Runner holds. Heads up play from Howard. Keeping Martinez in check at second. Especially when you have Mitch Daniels on deck, who is known for his RBI hitting, able to split defenses really well with his bat. You always want to keep your runners as far from home plate as possible.
And like a lot of the Webster players, Mitch is one of those guys that can help you in a lot of different places. Although he seems to have settled in at second for much of this season.
Three balls, no strikes. And again, throw down to second, not in time. Martinez staying put.
And we talked about the veteran leadership earlier, talking about Mitch Daniels. I go to a lot of the JV games here, and it's really heartwarming. You see a lot of the varsity guys there in the dugout at those JV games, mentoring, talking, helping coach. It really speaks to the way that the generations on this team come together. A lot of mentoring and a lot of listening. That's a reason that Webster has such a legacy of success with their baseball program.
The deal from Howard. Taken inside for ball 4. And Webster now has 2 guys on base. Hit the outside corner there for strike 1. So Mitch Daniels so far 0 for 1 today. This will be his second at-bat for the Gorlocks. As that one finds itself outside of the mitt, no throw. And a nice single there for Mr. Mitch Daniels. Great stop there.
That probably scores a run if the first baseman or the third baseman doesn't slow that ball down. That was well hit.
It was a great stop there from Carter Lee. Made the smartest decision possible to keep the ball near third base.
Matt Staker would love to do some damage here. Again, he was hot yesterday, so we'll see if he can stay in that zone. Grounded out hard to third in the second inning in his first at bat.
Howard the 1-0. Fouled back. So Webster still up by 3. Bases loaded. And bottom of the third. Still a long ways to go here at GCS Credit Union as this one is ripped into center field. Letting it fall is Jack Wood, the freshman, taking the place of Persky as the cutoff man is missed at shortstop. Able to retain it is Creech. And that'll be another run batted in there for Matt Staker. Webster back at the top of the order. Evan Evola up to bat.
Yeah, that Texas leaguer was in the perfect spot, and Wood made the right choice to not try to keep the ball in front of him, but fortunately it was deep enough. The Gorlocks put another run on the board.
That is another. I'm not really sure what to call that because, Scott, I don't know if I've ever seen that in my time watching collegiate baseball.
Yeah, I don't know if the rule says it has to cross the plate for you to call it a ball or a strike, but I'm guessing not.
Strange things are afoot at GCS Credit Union Ballpark here in Sauget, Illinois.
That sort of looked like me on the mound there.
1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out. As that one will make its way across the plate for strike 1.
Howard made up for it with that pitch.
So the base is still loaded. Webster adding 1 more run until they're already 7.
Only 1 out. There's a lot more that can happen with this inning. Webster's looking to open it up. 7-3 lead so far in the bottom of the third.
Bottom of the third lasting a bit longer than Fontbonne probably would have hoped, as this one is popped high and foul and out of play.
has been on twice today with a walk and hit by pitch, and has scored each of those times.
Got an even OPS of 1. 2-2 to count. Evola will send this one right past the third baseman. Lee unable to get it. And runners are going to round third. Evola holding at second base. Staker will take hold at third.
I'll tell you, he ripped that ball.
And that'll be 2 more RBIs for Evan Evola. Webster now back to their 6-run lead, 9-3, here in the bottom of the third with 1 out. It has been an offensive hitting clinic here this weekend at GCS Credit Union Ballpark. I'm not sure why I can't get the name of the stadium down. You'd think you'd have it by the first inning. You'd think you'd have it because you've been here for
It's a
4+
Sunday. Words
years.
are hard at the end of the weekend.
It seems that we were blessed here with a beautiful day, 51 and sunny. And I can't imagine what the weather was like here yesterday. 20-mile-per-hour winds, 50 degrees, cloudy. The complete opposite of what we were blessed here today.
Not the day you want to be an outfielder.
No, sir. Not the day you want to be outside.
No.
Coming in, right-handed reliever Camden Coleman. Camden Coleman, the junior. He's made 11 appearances so far this season. He's 2-2 on the record year. Has himself a save. And has only allowed 10 earned runs so far this season with 15 strikeouts. So let's see if Coleman can turn things back around here for Fontbonne. And try to get back at a very demanding 6-run lead.
And his job is going to be to somehow keep 3 good runners, Daniels and Evola and Staker, at bay on the base paths, while pitching to the always dangerous R.J. Larocco. Not the most desired spot for him to be in. Larocco's walked twice, and he scored once. It was part of that very odd play that got him to third, but stranded at third in the second.
So due up are Wilt and Werges, as Coleman has a daunting 3 here to start off his stint on the mound for the Golden Griffins. Slider outside for ball 1.
It's got to be a frustrating game for Fontbonne. They, not only being down by 6, but knowing that the Gorlocks have only gotten 6 hits, but they've scored 9 runs. That's when you know that a lot of that lead that they have is because of mistakes that you just didn't want to make.
Larocco rips one into right field as Staker is going to go ahead and come home. Runner is safe at the plate. Throw down not in time. Webster tacking on 2 more. R.J. Larocco with 2 RBIs here in the bottom of the third. The bats just keep on humming for the Gorlocks, 11-3 with just 1 out here in the bottom of the third. And it has been a hitting clinic here for the upperclassmen of Webster University. They're just having fun with it at this point.
Yeah, there was no doubt that
First pitch in dirt. So Parker Wielt now batting for the Gorlocks. Has a run, a hit, and brought in a batter in his first AB this afternoon, as that one is called for a strike. So 1-1 is the count for Parker Wielt, as LaRocca will be held up on second. And I was wondering when that throwdown was going to be completed, because LaRocca has a bit of a lengthy lead off there at first. I'm wondering if he wants to showcase that speed or not.
Well, stolen bases are pretty consistently a part of the Webster repertoire. So, and as a division or as a conference rival, Fontbonne certainly knows that.
Pitch from Coleman. That one is out to keep LaRocca at first. And that one, again, off the leg of Parker Wielt. And Webster once again finds themselves with 2 runners on base, with still 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Unfortunate luck here for Fontbonne, as we've got a lot of action there in the bullpen. We got someone warming up very quickly. So runners on second and first. 1 out. Grounder hit to shortstop. And the throw to first is on time. Cooper making quick work, and we've got 2 outs.
Martinez, another Gorlock that scored twice today, with a double, and he's been hit by a pitch.
He is one of the multiple Gorlocks today that have been hit by pitches.
It has been a thing today.
You know, Scott, there have been lots of things today. And it just keeps on coming. Bottom of the 3rd, 2 outs. And we are about 1 hour and 20 minutes into this ball game. Coleman deals. Inside for strike 1.
Yeah, I don't even think a pitch clock would have sped this game up. It's just and who knows, maybe it would have made it even more exciting.
What I like about Webster is they have a really good tempo with their pitching, and I mean they take consistent rips at a consistent pace. They're not too fast, as that one just reaches beyond the fence. I couldn't tell who was the runner on that one.
I think that was the second baseman. That was a tough play with that, trying to get into the net and knowing that that wall is there. Made a great effort. No, it's the first baseman.
So,
yeah, so it was Ty Cooper.
Ty Cooper
Made
with a great hustle play, indeed.
Those are tough foul balls right up with that net, and that's a loose net, which doesn't help. Easy to get tangled up in there knowing that that brick wall is also there.
The 1-2 from Coleman. Again, outside.
Trey Cooper, their catcher, is doing a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him throughout the game. He's had to work.
So far, Fontbonne has been finding luck with that fastball. They've been able to get hitters to swing just a little bit ahead of that timing. And if they keep sticking to these pitches inside the zone, focusing on the timing and the accuracy of where they're throwing, I think Fontbonne can make a comeback on the mound.
I'm sure that they would love nothing more than to get a pitcher out there that could at least stay out there for 2 or 3 innings.
By the looks of it, if Camden Coleman is not able to finish out the inning here in the next 1 or 2 ABs, I do believe he will be done for the afternoon.
Yeah, they do have some activity still.
This one is hit deep to center field underneath it, Jack Wood, the freshman. And that'll be out number 3 for Fontbonne. A lengthy inning for the Golden Griffins. I'm sure they are very pleased to get back into the dugout and shake things off, as Webster extended their lead to 8 as they are up 11-3 here heading into the top half of the 4th inning. So leading off for the Golden Griffins, Trey Cooper. So far 0 for 1 this afternoon with a fly out, as Brozek will start things off with a ball.
Fontbonne is chasing 8 right now with an 11-3 deficit. Early in the game, but it's a lot of runs to score.
Still 5 innings left to work with, as that one is tipped foul and called strike. So far Webster with 7 hits on the afternoon. Fontbonne a little behind with just 5. Grounder hit on the line to third. And able to make the play, Ben Swords. Throw down on time for out number 1.
Swords is a sure thing at third. Not much gets by him. Made another. It's a great thing about third basemen, man. They gets down there fast, and good third basemen make those hard plays look super simple. They call it the hot corner for a reason.
Another one hit on the ground to the shortstop. On the run, nice throw down there by Matt Staker. Again, the veterans getting it done on the left side of the diamond for Webster.
Short hopped that really, really well. Webster's looking for their first 1-2-3 inning.
So Carter Lee at the plate for Fontbonne.
He flew out to right field his first at bat.
As Burton will miss that one outside. 2-0 the count now. 2 outs, nobody on. Brozak deals. This one hit good down the line. Weirges scoops it up in center, and that'll be a hit for Mr. Carter Lee. And back up top of the order now, Eric Creech looking to continue.
Yeah, he's been a highlight for Fontbonne. He scored twice on base, twice with a walk and a single. Also stole a base in his first inning, so he got things started off pretty well for Fontbonne.
Cooper and Helm due up for Fontbonne, as that one is taken for strike 1. Inside, strike 2. Boy, Creech had to get out of the way for that one. Caught the inside corner perfectly. Great ball placement there from Brozak. Boy, Brozak has been really consistent this inning, as this one is hit straight to Daniels, and that will do it here. 1, 2, 3, or pardon me, 3 outs. Top of the 4th, almost had the 1, 2, 3 for Webster, but that hit from Creech was able to disrupt the defensive momentum. Webster still up by a lengthy amount, 11-3, as we head into the bottom half of the 4th inning here at GCS Credit Union Ballpark. And this one is ripped straight into center field. Swords got a hell of that one. And that'll be a first pitch out here for Webster.
Yeah, Swords has put the ball on the bat hard 3 times, but it's been to a bad place each time, unfortunately.
So that one is rolled outside for ball 1.
Burton has done some damage to the Griffins with his first inning home run, and then walked and scored in the 3rd. So he has been busy when the Gorlocks have been on the offense.
2 back-to-back home runs in 2 games for Mr. Charlie Burton. Have yourself a weekend.
Tell you, 2 conference weekends left. This is the time. This is the time to peak. This is the time to have a good game like this. Build some momentum before they welcome Principia next weekend.
Burton will rip this one foul. Ball still in play. And nice hustle there from the first baseman. Number 19, Ty Cooper, able to make the play.
Third also. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say third time around here for Mr. Mitch Daniels. And we'll see if he can get out of this two-out threat here for Fontbonne to get on base for the Gorlocks.
Gorlocks a busy week ahead. They face their Division III rival from across town, Wash U, on Wednesday. That's always a big game every year when they play. That Big Bend rivalry.
Outside, ball 2. And as you mentioned, that game against Wash U, it seems that all sports turn out that way, whether you play basketball in the Grant or you head down to Clayton, Missouri. Every game is always action-packed, as this one is hit on a two-hop to the shortstop. And throw will be in time to close out the inning. Mitch Daniels grounds out for his third AB. Webster still with a very commanding lead over in-town rival Fontbonne University, 11-3, as we head into the top half of the 5th inning here at GCS Credit Union Ballpark. So now pitching for relief on the mound for Webster, number 45, Quinn Weber, the 6'4" sophomore out of Edwardsville, Illinois. As his first pitch will be in the dirt for ball 1.
So Weber is the 4th pitcher for the Gorlocks on the afternoon.
This one hit into the gap for Webster. He's going to go ahead and hold at first. And that'll be a single for Cooper. Golden Griffins getting out early here in the top of the 5th. And they are going to try to turn things around here drastically quick if they want to come back and put a kink in this 8-run lead.
Webster needs to be careful here. Matt Helm has been the offense for Fontbonne for the day. He's 2 for 2. He's got all 3 RBI. He's got a double and a single, but he has not scored, so I'm sure that he is looking to add that to his list for the afternoon.
Another pitch high and inside for ball 1. On that first foul tip, it looked like Helm did a halfway swing, and on that check, the ball went out. Foul play.
Yeah, that definitely was not a strike that he was wanting.
The 2-1 from Weber. This one is hit high and foul over the press box. And a loud thud and a drop down later. There goes the ball.
That's where we need an open window and a net.
That one is also ripped straight into the gap, unable to get it. Matt Staker, great diving hustle play, as Fontbonne now has a runner on second and first with no outs in the top of the fifth.
That was just out of Staker's reach.
All game long, Matt Staker and Ben Swords both are really trying to close that gap into left field. But boy, sometimes they just don't get them.
No. Just like that, the Gorlocks have got some activity in the bullpen again.
So Quinn Weber, only a sophomore, still an underclassman looking to prove himself on a very daunting Webster squad. Had 3 appearances last season. Only allowed 3 hits off 4 runs and added 2 strikeouts to his stat column as well.
Gorlocks playing him straight away.
In the dirt, runner goes. Burton to throw down. Off target, Swords had to step off the bag to get it. And Fontbonne has runners on the corners.
Tell you, just couldn't get the handle on that ball, but when he did find it, that would have been a close call. Just a ball just a little on the inside of the foul line. Otherwise, they might have had him at third.
And an unusual drop there from Burton as well. You don't see a lot of runners taking off when he has a fumble behind the plate.
It's a dangerous spot for the Gorlocks now. Runners at the corners with no outs.
2-1 the count for the freshman Jack Wood, as this one is also ripped straight into the hands of Daniels. He's going to throw down the first.
Just about doubled him off.
Boy, oh boy. Had Wilt's feet been on the ground, that tag possibly could have been made.
That was terrific reaction time from Mitch Daniels to almost get that double play.
And I'll tell you what, that is a high five for Mr. Daniels when I see him on class on Monday. So Colby,
Tell you, a play like that can also calm down a pitcher who's having a kind of a rough start to the inning. You know, you got your gloves behind you.
the off speed is called outside for ball 1. As you did mention, a bit of a slower start for Weber on the mound. You never know with relief pitchers. Sometimes off a fresh inning, coach might have said something in the dugout to get the bats more alive, and sometimes it might just be the luck of the wind. And this one is also popped high. Wilt turning on the Jets to try to get it. This one is going to stay fair. Daniels looking for the throw, and the runners will advance. Boy, a great effort again. Parker Wilt put on the burners to try to get to that one. Great insurance there from Daniels to make sure the play was held.
Yeah, that's a tough ball because the wind, you mentioned the wind. The wind takes that, and it forces 3 defensive players to run just enough that makes that ball tough.
So Coach Bill Kurich will go ahead and bring in Mr. J.T. Miller to pitch relief here in the top of the 5th inning. As that'll do it for the sophomore Quinn Weber. So J.T. Miller, the 6'4" junior out of Centennial, Colorado. Another state to add to the list of vast recruiting from Coach Kurich.
JT's job is to settle things down and keep that lead as big as it is right now.
Miller pitched extremely well last year for the Gorlocks, finishing with just 2 earned runs over the season to finish out a 2.02 average. Extremely good numbers for a right-handed reliever.
He's got 17 strikeouts on the season in just 11 2/3 innings, but a high ERA, 6.17. So I think he's ready for a good, solid game. Finding that strike zone and putting some Griffins back into the dugout.
So Miller, a little bit of work to do here in the top of the 5th inning. A runner in scoring position here for Fontbonne. As this one, first pitch ripped high, Mitch Daniels underneath it, and that'll be out number 2 for Fontbonne.
That's the way JT wanted to start things. At this point, with a 7-run deficit, Fontbonne wants to get as many of their runners across the plate as they can before we get into the later innings. I think they know that Webster's not going to make it easy for them as the game goes on.
And if you're Fontbonne, you want to make sure that you're scoring as quickly as possible, especially heading into the bottom of the order here. 1 ball, no strikes for Cooper. Swing and a hit. This one is hit deep to left field, reaching back for it. Wirges, nice play. The diving catch is made to complete out number 3 for the top of the 5th inning. Webster stays on top 11-4. And what a play there from center field. Center fielder Malik Wirges. Wow, great hustle play there. That could have been anyone's ball in my opinion.
That looked like it was going to be in the gap. He saved that ball.
So a warning track catch, and a couple of plays later, Webster still in the lead 11-4 as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning here at GCS Credit Union Ballpark. Matt Staker here to lead things off for us in the bottom of the 5th.
That's 1 for 2 on the day. Scored a run in the third inning. So he's had a very good weekend so far. 6 for 9.
Popped up, foul, and able to make the play, first baseman Ty Cooper.
Now batting right fielder number 12, Evan Evola.
Once again, back at the top of the order for Webster, Evan Evola, getting his 3rd at-bat this afternoon, I believe. Already 3 runs scored, a couple of RBIs, and reaching 2nd. It's been a good afternoon so far for Evola. It's been a good afternoon for the majority of the Webster hitters so far.
Yes, it has. Camden Coleman, the Fontbonne hurler, had the game's first 1-2-3 inning last inning. Innings have been active for both teams so far.
It's notable for a scenario such as this that we are watching. 2-1's the count. 1 out, no one on. And Coleman kicks and deals. Nice strike 2. So Evola behind in the count, 2-2. As this one is outside of the zone, full count. Evola, no stranger to a full count. And the way he's been hitting, I'm sure he has the green light. And I am proven wrong. Evan Evola will go ahead and jog 90 feet to first. And that'll bring up power hitter R.J. LaRocco.
LaRocco also been on base all 3 times so far. A couple of walks and a hit. A couple RBI. Top of the order doing their job for Webster today, that's for sure.
R.J. LaRocco has a very unique batting stance from what I've been able to observe. He doesn't have as much power in his legs as a lot of other Gorlocks do. When I look at it, it looks as though like he's a bit more kind of hunched over, trying to draw a lot more of that power from the shoulders, and still is able to hit clean hits like everyone else. But it's a unique observation. You don't see a lot of hitters kind of standing up with their legs straight out like LaRocco does. What an interesting stance that he has.
It's a really good point. Seriously, I was kind of looking at him in that box right as you were saying that, thinking that he really does have kind of a high vertical stance.
And as we see, it helps him out a little bit when balls come in the dirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3 balls, no strikes. Runner on first for Webster. And that'll be another ball for R.J. LaRocco, making a jog to first. As the walks keep coming for Fontbonne.
Looking a little bit like the first inning for the Gorlocks when we started out with 3 walks in a row.
So head coach Ryan Good making another substitution on the mound for Fontbonne. Camden Coleman will walk back to the dugout. looks like Vonner Panek will take over on the mound for the Golden Griffins. Panek, the junior, already 3-0 on the year, a very strong right-handed reliever for the Fontbonne Golden Griffins. He's only allowed 3 earned runs so far this season with 18 strikeouts. He's been on a hot streak so far, 4 wins in a row for the young man, as he has played in every conference matchup so far. And the Golden Griffins are looking to turn things around with Vonner Panek.
He's got a slight sidearm delivery. And seems to come off the mound toward the third base side with the end of a lot of his delivery, at least there in the warm-ups. We'll see what happens.
Due up now, Parker Wilt. As this one is hit on a one-hop straight to first. Throw down to second, not in time. LaRocco's safe.
Now batting center fielder, number 11, Malik Wurges.
As Wilt will find himself out on a fielder's choice. And this will bring up Malik Wurges. Last inning, Wurges with a great hustle play, running all the way back to the warning track to make the catch. As he has struggled a little bit so far behind the plate this afternoon. 3 ABs with a strikeout and a foul out, or a fly out, pardon me.
Base hit's going to score at least one here.
Outside for ball 1. Runners in scoring position. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 2 outs. The throw from Panek. Another outside ball, 2-1 the count.
It's a nice stop by Cooper. Evola so far a short lead off a third. Now taking a couple of steps.
Inside for strike 2.
Deuce is wild as the Gorloks try to get a run out of this. Expand their lead. 11-4 right now, the bottom of the 5th.
Wurges swings. This one is hit high and should be an infield fly rule, as the catch is made at shortstop, and that'll do it for Webster for the bottom of the 5th inning. 11-4, still the score. Webster up by 7. As we head into the top of the 6th inning here, Fontbonne still with a little time to work with, but they need to get the bats working. Picked up some momentum last inning. And we'll see if JT Miller can continue to hump things into the plate and keep Webster's lead afloat. We'll be back with more NCAA Division III baseball when we return. At the plate to start things off here in the top of the 6th, Noah Sonato.
Sonato 0 for 2. He has not gotten the ball out of the infield yet today. Grounding out to first and also to short in his 2 appearances so far.
Hit high and long. Malik Wurges getting underneath it. And he'll complete the fly out for number 1. Outfield staying busy this afternoon for Webster.
You know, we're going into the 6th inning, and Fontbonne's down by 7. What I noticed at the end of last inning, they know they're playing the Gorlocks. They know that's a tough team to beat, but there was a tremendous amount of enthusiasm when Panic came and shut things down. It's the Griffins still have a lot of life left in them.
And it's also worth noting that when teams face Webster, they know what they're walking into. They're not going to give up as easily as Webster wants them to. And especially with where things are at right now, as we mentioned before in the conference standings, this is a must-win situation for both of these teams if they want a good spot in this playoff tournament.
It really is. Yeah, depending on what happens with Spalding today, Webster could end the day in the first place. And Fontbonne's trying to hold on to one of those top 4 spots.
The 2-hopper sent to the third baseman on time at first. Nice extension there from Wilt. Wow, he almost pulled a full splits to get ahead of that one. And a nice throw from Swords as well to complete the play.
And that is why I never wanted to play first base.
And it's also because you're right-handed, isn't that right?
Well, yes, yeah. And also because, you know, I'm just not that good. There's a reason I'm up here, and I've never been down there.
The 0-1 from Miller. Inside in the dirt for ball 1.
Creature's been on the base paths twice today, and he scored both of those times.
Another one inside, foul tip. And they're going to call that for strike 2. That ball must have just skimmed the bat. As I didn't see a foul tip, it looked like the ball just came inside and he had to flinch for it.
He gave the umpire a little bit of a look, so I'm not sure he agreed, but.
A little short hopper into the plate. An unusual pitch there again from Mr. J.T. Miller. Two balls, 2 strikes. Another one high and tight. And we got a full count.
Webster trying to get their first 1-2-3 inning here. But they're not going to.
So Miller will go ahead and let Creech walk. And we got a runner at first with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. Ty Cooper 2 for 3 so far this afternoon. Reached second. And also was responsible for a couple of hits and a couple of runs. So an even day for Mr. Cooper. As this one is ripped high and foul. And will end up over in the kid zone. And boy, Webster really is blessed to be able to play at a ballpark such as GCS Credit Union. This ballpark has a lot of amenities that your typical Division III college does not have on their home campus per se.
You absolutely got that right. It's a beautiful park.
And only a 30-minute, less than a 30-minute drive from campus, about 26 minutes if you want to be extremely accurate. And a hard rip, strike 2 from Ty Cooper. Boy, he really wanted that one.
Yeah, having this as our home park has put the Gorlocks in the spot where they've been able to host a number of NCAA regional tournaments here.
Swing and a hit. As Wurges once again getting underneath it to complete the fly out. And Webster once again escaping the ever-approaching Fontbonne University bats. So as we head into the bottom of the 6th, Webster still up by 7, 11-4. As Nate Martinez, Swords, and Burton all due up for the Gorlocks. We got more SLIAC baseball in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere, folks. So here to lead things off for us in the bottom of the 6th, designated hitter Nate Martinez, as this one is hit high and on a drive straight to center field. Running for it a little bit is Wood, the freshman, who made the substitution earlier in the game for Jack Persky.
The win made that a little more exciting than Woods would have liked.
He had a great first step on it too, but it had to use a little bit more juice than he would have liked to get underneath that one. And it's always a hard grab, especially when outfielders take that first step back just for the insurance, and then they have to use a little more gas to complete a fundamental flyout. Inside, strike one.
Swords trying to get on base for the first time today. He's 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard 3 times.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out for the graduate student. This one is hit hard. And Ben Swords will pick up a single off of a hard drive to left field. And that'll bring up number 20, Charlie Burton. You know what I enjoy watching and observing is the vast versatility of walk-up songs, too. You got a lot of personalities on this team. You can go from country to hip-hop between one batter. It's amazing.
Yes. Everywhere. And in the warm-up, pre-game, in between the games, it's got to be the best playlist, at least of the SLIAC. And it's Bill Kurtz's playlist, so you've got to give him the credit.
Another one hit hard and deep into the gap. This one is going to bounce off of the wall. Charlie Burton, another big power hitter. Here comes Swords, and that'll be another stand-up RBI. Charlie Burton, have yourself a weekend. You just can't, he can't be stopped.
He cannot be, and there was never a doubt that Swords was going all the way home. He just took the big round to second and just kept going after third.
So a hard hit double for catcher Charlie Burton, bringing home the graduate student Ben Swords. Tack on another RBI for Burton, 12-4, and the bottom of the 6th with just 1 out. Boy, and a hard rip. Look at the face of Mitch Daniels. He is in disbelief.
Holy cow.
Boy, oh boy.
You don't hit the ball harder than that without getting on first.
And so that'll bring up Matt Staker. 3 ABs so far for Staker. Add on a hit and an RBI.
It's a short lead for Burton at second. At this point, with an 8-run lead, you don't necessarily have to be as aggressive as you might otherwise be on the base paths. But I'm sure Burton wants to cross that plate.
One ball, no strikes. As that one will be watched inside for strike one. Man, I wonder what the exit velocity was on that hit from Daniels. Boy, 119, 120 at
It
least.
got down there quick. That was as hard as you're going to see a ball hit.
Great reaction time there from the senior Carter Lee. Down at third base to make the play. So runners in scoring position for Webster. 2-1 is the count. Fontbonne needs one more out to close out another hard inning.
Staker's got a little bit of a gap between first and second. Otherwise, pretty much playing him straight away.
This one popped up high, right outside of the infield, and making the play will be Eric Creech. As Fontbonne only allowed one in the bottom of the sixth, 12-4, as Webster still in command of this game. And folks, we've got more NCAA Division III baseball coming your way in just a few minutes. At the plate for the Golden Griffins, senior Matt Helm. Helm responsible for 3 hits. 3 runners brought in, reached second on a double. And is looking to get things started here in the top of the 7th for Fontbonne as he watches strike 2. Both teams each with 9 hits on no errors, as this one is fouled to the back of the screen.
Yeah, Miller would like to get by him this time. Helm has been pretty persistent today.
Helm rips that one straight into the Webster bullpen. And it looks like that might have been a late decision there from Helm. A little bit high on the fastball, didn't get quite enough contact on it as he would have liked.
Nice to see all the bullpen pitchers agile enough to get out of the way.
Another one ripped hard into left field. This one is going to bounce off of the wall. Helm is going to put on the brakes and stay at first. And that'll be another hit for the designated hitter.
He's had a great game. He's also hit everywhere. I mean, he's been at all three fields. And on base, 4 for 4. It's a great day for him.
So this will bring up the freshman Jack Wood. Started out as a pinch runner. And
He's 0 for 1 with a hard hit ball to Mitch Daniels in the 5th inning at second base.
The 0-1. Foul back. 0-2 now for Wood. Low and inside for ball 1. So Colby Shivers in the on-deck circle. And Cameron Brooks will be in the hole. That one in the dirt for ball 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, and a runner on first. As Miller deals. Another one down low, full count. Helm with a very short lead off at first as Wood will whiff it clean. Strike 3 called. And that'll be a strikeout for Mr. J.T. Miller.
Not many strikeouts today. A few walks, but a lot of hitting, a lot of contact.
Lots of hits and lots of work being done by the outfielders of both teams this afternoon. It's a good thing that the sun comes in from behind the outfield wall, or else these outfielders would have a bit of a mix-up today trying to get these pop-outs. No balls, 1 strike. As that one is down low for a ball.
Yeah, only 2 strikeouts for our Gorlock pitchers today, only 1 for Fontbonne. So, but generally, pitching pretty well as judged by the 19 hits and all the plays being made in the field.
J.T. Miller now at 30 for the pitch count. Second Gorlock to reach above 20.
Fontbonne has done a good job of settling the Gorlocks down offensively, but they have not been able to turn the tables and start putting the ball in play and getting runners on the base paths.
As that one is taken high for a ball.
And then he walks, so makes me a liar.
And just like that, Scott, you know it can change on a flip. So Fontbonne now with a runner in scoring position.
Cameron Brooks has been on base once today on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Otherwise has put the ball to the second baseman twice for a ground out and a fly out.
Here comes the 0-1. Inside for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. This one is ripped foul. And count stays at 0-2. Another Cooper twin on deck for the Golden Griffins.
Miller's still way ahead on the count.
Strike 3. J.T. Miller humming it in this inning. And it's 2 back-to-back, or pardon me, that is 2 strikeouts this inning. And Miller's looking to make it 3 here. Runners on second and first with 2 outs here in the bottom, or in the top of the 7th.
Well, I would love to strand those 2 runners out on first and second. Sun's peeking out a little more now, and the wind has died down.
Oh, to live in the Midwest in spring.
Especially in St. Louis. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
1-1 the count for Cooper. Miller deals.
Oh!
And he is caught there on the inside shoulder. And Fontbonne now with the bases loaded. 2 outs, top of the 7th. As this will bring up Sonato. 3 ABs so far for Sonato. Not able to get anything going. A couple of ground outs. And another fly out after that. So let's see if Sonato can get the momentum going here for Fontbonne. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Ripped high and foul. Strike 1.
With an 8-run lead, no activity in the bullpen for the Gorlocks.
And if you're Coach Courage, you're going to have a lot of confidence leaving a guy like J.T. Miller in the game for a little bit longer. And I'm going to guess, by the way things are going, we're going to see maybe just one more pitching change from Webster. As that one is called strike 3. J.T. Miller with 3 strikeouts in the top of the 7th inning, keeping the scare down as Webster will maintain an 8-run lead, 12-4, as we get up and stretch our legs here for the 7th inning stretch. Folks, don't go anywhere. We got more NCAA Division III baseball right after this. Top of the order for Webster. Due up number 12, Evan Evola. As we mentioned before, top of the order for Webster, doing their job, getting on base and scoring. They've been doing it all this afternoon. Scott, what have your thoughts been so far about Webster's bats?
Well, they're swinging. They're swinging the bat, and they're not afraid to do it. But at the same time, they're disciplined. I mean, they've walked a lot, which is never a bad thing. You can't score unless you've got runners on base. So I think credit to the Gorlocks, good hitting. You know, good hitting when the ball's there to hit, and not taking the swing when you shouldn't. They've only been struck out once. Fontbonne's got a new pitcher, Ethan Chance, a freshman out of Carbondale, Illinois, trying to keep this only at an 8-run lead. Fontbonne's down to their last 6 outs, so.
And a hard rip there for strike 3. Evan Evola goes down swinging, and that'll be a strikeout for Ethan Chance, his first of the year. And I do believe that is his first collegiate career strikeout, if I am correct.
That's a tough out.
Against an extremely talented hitter in Evan Evola. And now he might have an even tougher challenge, if not the same level, in R.J. Larocco. As that one is hit foul to the Gorlock bullpen.
He's also throwing to a new Fontbonne catcher, number 7, Zach Molden. So the battery is new for the Fontbonne Griffins here in the 7th.
Larocco rips this one straight into the gap. Center fielder unable to get there. Jack Wood let the one hop into his glove as Larocco will make it safely into first for another hit.
Fontbonne does have some more activity in the bullpen. So Chance may be on a short leash. Rocco's getting a big lead.
So 1 ball and no strikes to Parker Wielt as he rips this one straight to the pitcher's mound. A couple of bounces later, throw on the move is in time for out number 2. So Larocco will reach second off of a fielder's choice. Wielt will advance the runner, and that'll bring up Malik Wurges.
They might have had a play at second, but that's a tough play. It was short and second. Both went for the ball, given where it was. There was nobody there to throw to at second base. So that puts Larocco in scoring position.
That ball bounced off of the rubber, I think. Ethan Chance almost had a play at it on the ground. And I don't think had he had sprinted to second base, he would have made the play on time anyway. So a smart throw there on the run from the second baseman to complete the out.
Yeah, the ball got off the bat just fast enough that there was really only one thing to do with it. And Wield made it close.
Here comes the 0-2. Swing, and this one is hit high and deep. Reaching back for it all the way to the wall. It'll bounce. This one is fair off of the warning track. Larocco will come in to score. And that'll be another double, another stand-up double for Malik Wurges.
I got to tell you, Sam, I'm an underdog guy, and up to that point, he was the only Gorlock that had not gotten on base. So, in my mind, I was hoping.
And what a rip it was to center field. Bounced off the wall a couple of feet more, and that ball would have been gone. so now pinch hitting for Nate Martinez is number 19, senior Zach Goodman. Zach Goodman, a nice guy and a close colleague who will hop on the live stream from time to time as he will rip this one straight into the gap. Right fielder coming home is Wurges. He is safe at the plate.
I tell you, just out of reach of the tag of the catcher. That was a good throw.
Boy, oh boy, and it looks like that will do it here. 14-4, the final score. It looks like the 10-run mercy rule will be enforced. Boy, if you're Webster University, you have got to be happy about that one. It was a hitting clinic today for the Gorlocks, 14-4. The final score, Webster finishing with 12 hits on no errors, leaving just 6 on base. Couple of doubles. Exactly, a couple of doubles, a home run, lots of hits, and a 3-win home series for Webster. So if Spalding loses the game today, this will, in my opinion, probably bump up Webster into the first spot in the SLIAC Conference heading into the second to final week of regular season play. So if you're Webster, you're in a good position, and if you're Fontbonne, these are must-win series ahead in the next couple of weekends. So that'll do it here from GCS Credit Union Ballpark in Sauget, Illinois. I'm Sam Baker, joined alongside Scott Jensen. We'll see you next time, folks. Have a good afternoon.